Hi team, Miss Vaughn here to talk to you about what you're going to be doing with the sub today. So today you have your final beloved exam. This exam is going to be taking the place of a take-home essay. This exam is also going to be 65% of your overall grade. This exam also has to be completed in class today. You were given 6 different prompts at the end of class on Wednesday. Your job between Wednesday and today was to choose 3 of the 6 prompts that you feel comfortable responding to. And in each of your responses, you're going to write at minimum 1 paragraph. Each paragraph should have 2 pieces of evidence in it. You should also be including keywords from the prompt in your response. So make sure that if there are words that need to be defined, you're defining them. Make sure that if there are ideas that need to be explained that are specific to the book, that you are defining those ideas that are specific to the book. For point number 2 up here, it says make sure that you include analysis of language, context, and also authorial purpose. So Toni Morrison uses such beautiful descriptions. She uses really metaphorical and figurative language. There's a lot packed into what she writes. There's a lot of emotion packed into what she writes. So if you are failing to find different language devices, you can always rely on diction and tone. So talk about the language in your response, and then also be sure that you're writing really strong context for your quotes, because that can only help your score. So context can be kind of tricky for this book because there's so many memories. So you need to know like when we are in a memory and also what has triggered that memory. And if you're able to do that, then you're able to write really strong context, and that's only going to help your score in knowledge and understanding. The last thing that you need to be doing is you need to be thinking about authorial purpose. So you should be analyzing the authorial purpose, which is why does Toni Morrison write about these topics, and what is she trying to show us about these topics in the context that the characters are living? So for instance, she writes about motherhood, but she writes about this very specific form of motherhood that is examined or that comes to be because of the institution of slavery. And then not only the institution of slavery, but also the process of being freed from that institution of slavery. So when we're thinking about authorial purpose, think about why she wants to write what she writes and what she was trying to show. So you should be thinking about, depending on what your response is, there's different explorations of race that she really wanted her reader to go through with her. There's explorations of motherhood. Remember at the time period that many women were thinking that it was a symbol of freedom for them to make the decision to not have children. And for her, she was wondering what was a time period in which having a child actually made you very free. So that was one reason why she decided to write this book. All of those pieces are really important for you understanding the authorial purpose. There's also like specific things beyond motherhood and slavery. There's also specific things that she wants to be able to show about resistance, and then also thinking about manhood, also thinking about rebellion and community. All of those things pop up within the book, and all of those things are worthy of exploration. Make sure that you guys are transitioning in between your ideas. Be as clear and as thorough as possible. So be the guide to your own thinking on the page. Walk me through your thinking as if I assume that you know nothing about this book. And with that, really try to develop your ideas thoroughly. Your evidence should be good support for your question, and you cannot reuse pieces of evidence for multiple responses. So you should have 6 different pieces of evidence throughout your 3 body paragraphs that you've written. When you finish, go back and proofread. You can do a little asterisk on your paper if you want to develop more of a response. It took everyone in 3rd period the whole period to finish their exam. So I don't think there's going to be many people who are going to be finishing early. And if you do, then you probably haven't done as good of a job as you think that you have. So take your time, but also know that you don't get any extra time with this. So you're going to be turning this in at the end of the period. If you do happen to finish early, sit tight until everyone's done with their final. The only thing that I want you to turn in is your white packets at the end of the period. And just a couple last announcements before this video is done. There's some papers that I want passed out at the beginning of class. So quote papers that people have turned in. I want someone to be responsible to pass those out to people. And then make sure that you have the IB packets that we've used for the on-demand writing throughout the school year. That's where you're going to be writing your responses. And there's going to be extras that are going to be up here on the front table with my little signs on it. So I hope that you have a good spring break. Be really proud of the work that you've done. We finished this book. I know that it was really hard to get through. We have about 2.5 weeks of really solid, thorough work before our IB exams. And then you guys are cruising into the end of the school year and also graduation. All right. Be nice to the sub, be nice to yourselves, be nice to each other, be respectful of the class. Take care of business and get this done in class today. Don't waste time. Be decisive. You know more than you think you know. Okay, I'll see you when we get back from break. Have a good one. Bye-bye.